Hey everybody, Jonesy here, and as promised, I have the first of the off-season videos set for you. I figured we'd start by talking about travel logistics, since other than riding, this is probably what takes the most time and energy. Before we get rolling though, I want to make one quick disclaimer. None of the products or services that I mentioned today sponsors me or in any other way provides compensation. They're simply things that I use and I find beneficial. So with that said, let's see what it takes to hit the road. This is Benson, and she has been our constant companion pretty much from the moment we brought her home at 8 weeks old. She's just over 12 years old now and definitely feeling her age, but she does much better traveling with us than boarding nowadays, so wherever we stay, we always bring her with us. So when we look for a hotel, we want to be reasonably close to the event venue, and a hotel that's not only pet friendly, but allows us to leave Benson in the room unattended while we're riding. And that's where it gets tricky. A lot of pet friendly hotels don't allow you to leave your pet in the room alone. But until she learns to ride a bike, she's just going to have to stay behind. There are a ton of ways to find a place to stay. There's travel agents, travel apps, just checking nearby hotel on one of the mapping apps you probably have on your phone. Personally, I use one of two apps. Extended Stay America is a dog-friendly chain, but my go-to resource is Bring Fido. I can be pretty confident that the information on pet accommodations with Bring Fido is accurate, and other pet owners often provide ratings and insights which can be helpful in making my decision on where to stay. But Bring Fido also gives me more information that's very, very helpful. They have information on pet-friendly restaurants and shops, sites and activities, and even has references for services like vets and pet sitting and doggy daycare. One more thing about both the Bring Fido app and the Extended Stay America app: they are free. So once we've got our reservations all squared away, it's just a matter of driving there. And that means packing up the car. Now, Robin tends to give me a hard time because it seems like I'm always making lists. But consider this. On the first ride, we remembered everything except our water bottles. On the second ride, we remembered the water bottles, but we forgot our rain jackets and my mastectomy pillow, and that's something that has a really big impact in my comfort when I'm traveling. So during that second trip, I took the time to make a list. You know how it is when you're packing up the car for a trip like this. Something happens, you get distracted, you get halfway down the road before you realize you forgot something. Kevin! My list is in 3 big sections. What we need for the bikes and for the ride itself, what we need for Benson, and everything else. Our regular clothes, camera, toiletries, chargers for the electronics, all of those things. I find the things I tend to forget are the things that I can't pack up the night before. My pajamas, my mastectomy pillow, since I use that when I sleep every night, food that gets packed up from the fridge at the last minute, all those kinds of things. I will say, too, that we've always been pretty efficient packers. We usually have a gym bag specifically for the bike clothes and shoes, a duffel bag for our regular clothes, a big shopping bag that carries all the dog needs, bowls, medications for our old girl, treats, and so on, and then a cooler for any food we bring. And then there are a few other things that we pack directly in the car, of course. Benson's crate, which she absolutely loves, by the way. She doesn't want to wait for us to finish setting it up before she gets in it at the hotel. Our regular coats, the bike helmets, and of course we can't forget the bikes. We started the season carrying the bikes on a roof rack, but we had been talking about getting a hitch rack for the car for a long time. And we wanted it for a couple of reasons. First, it's really hard for me to put my bike up on the roof. I'm not short, but I'm just about an inch too short to really do that comfortably. And with an old injury to contend with, I'm always concerned about throwing out my back in doing that. And the bikes are a bit more protected by riding behind the car on a hitch rack versus cruising down the highway on the roof. And finally, in terms of day-to-day use around home, well, you can't safely put an e-bike on the roof of a car, let alone two. It's just too heavy, not only to lift, but for the rack to safely carry. So we have this really great heavy-duty hitch rack now. It's manageable enough that I can actually put it on and take it off the car all by myself, though I am happy to leave that to Robin. And it's low enough that I can lift any of the bikes onto the rack easily. Once we get to the hotel and we get checked in, we bring everything into the room with us. Dog, bags, bikes, and then that allows some time for maybe a bit of minor bike maintenance before the ride. We're pretty efficient at getting there and settling in for a good night's rest, and so we get to enjoy the rides without any extra stress. And once we're all done, it's just a matter of packing everything up again and heading home. So here are my tips in a nutshell. Find a reliable source to book your hotel. Personally, I like Bring Fido and Extended Stay America, but find the method that works best for you. Make a list of everything you need to take. And don't leave anything off the list. Don't assume you can't possibly forget that thing. You can, and at some point, you probably will. Pack up as much as possible the night before you leave. Once you load everything up, check your list one more time before you head out. Give yourself time to relax when you arrive and to rest well before you come home, especially if you're driving. You don't want to be tired when you're on the road. Most important, have fun. So I hope that's been helpful. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your travel tips are. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the future videos. You should also check out Jonesy Cycles for Cancer on WordPress for the upcoming rides and lots more information. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next ride.